Well, my suicide seat is coming along. What it needs now is a seat back. The back's in and fiberglass. It's a bit of a bugger when the high tides, really high tides, come in the middle of the day. It means you've got to get up nice and early to get work done. The sun isn't up yet, but time to do some more sanding. Now, the nice thing about getting a coat of epoxy primer on everything is that the areas that you thought were quite okay turn out to be absolutely needing attention. There was quite a cavity under there. I filled it in with epoxy. There were huge holes in my epoxy patching under here which certainly need filling in. There's stuff here that's that are actually quite holy, shall we say. Yeah, I'd better get those filled in. It's like fine scars on a beautiful piece of leather. I've gone over it again with thickened epoxy, and then I've put another coat of epoxy primer on, which I've scraped off or smoothed out. See how that comes up with the sand. As you can see, it's as blotchy as hell, and I need a lighter colour than that. It gets too hot in the sun. So more sanding, more painting. Cutting holes in the boat again. When I drilled a hole on the other side about a month ago, about a cup of water came out. There's a void. Big void there, void there. It's all dry, so I'll fill it in. Good old PVC pipe. I use it a lot. I'm just holding that in with a bit of masking tape until the epoxy sets. That'll allow wires to go up to the roof, like solar panels and VHF antenna, 12 volts. I'll run on the outside. I'll run a wire to here for a light. That should be good. Now it's probably time I get some paint on this wood. I'm always feeling disinclined to do it because of the amount of rubbish that just keeps falling from the trees. Makes a mess, though it gives me shade, which is nice. There, that's looking a little cleaner. A bit of white paint on is a nice start. And clearing some of the rubbish off my decks. Still a way to go, obviously. Amazing how much has accumulated. Well, it's nice to get the cleats in, the chain plate in there, and the winch in there. Now I don't need access on the other side, so it's time to start making a move with this arrangement, going against that wall there, and that'll be nice to have in. Shelving finally in where it should be. It's quite a job. Garbage disposal unit screwed and glued in. There's some trim here to go on there yet. This piece of trim is trimmed to shape, slightly different to how it was. There, that looks a lot nicer. Well, this is about as ugly as it gets. I'm in the starboard armour. Lots of horrible stuff up there. Some termites appeared right up there a few days ago, and I've epoxied and fiberglassed them in, and they haven't reappeared as yet. We've got strengthening required there, plywood and fiberglass, or just fiberglass. Down here, much the same. Yeah, there's quite a bit to be done. Fiberglass needs to go on that. That needs to be filled in with a bit of epoxy, and then once all that is in and stops any flexing of the skins, I've then got to look at what happens if a huge wave hits the boat, and obviously the whole structure needs to be strong enough, and this frame's half missing. A bit of work needs to be done there. A lot of frame missing down there. Big hole in the floor down there from rot. But apart from that, yeah, a bit of ugly work to be done here. This is on the outside of where I'm working. Some extra reinforcement with fiberglass. Some chopped strand mat on there, on that patch. It's all good and strong, needs a little bit more epoxy yet. Next one to go, this one down here. Fiberglass in on this panel here. It's all good and strong. It's a bit dark in here at the moment because the power's gone out, but there you go. More work to be done down there. Now I'll do a couple of patches up here next. A piece of plywood goes in there, and I'll do this one as well, where this piece of ply goes in something like that. I've now made what I call my tiller lock. This is for holding the rudder in various positions. A lot of very minor variations in the centre for self-steering, and some more widely spaced holes for when I'm hove to. It goes in here like so. Locks the steering in place in various positions, and very handy. This I have made as a cover over the starboard armour. It goes in like so. More patches to go on. This one there, another one over here, and another one up here, going something like that. Squeezing out the glue and any potential voids. Now you might think that this side of the armour is more protected than the outside, but in actual fact it gets more of a workout than the outside. In some wave conditions, when going heavy upwind, the bow wave there will cause thumping on the inside here, and also the wave from the armour will at times hit the main hull along here, and with this arrangement it's going to get thumped around a bit underneath here, but that's the price you pay for a glorious living space inside. Next up, we got 5 little patches of fiberglass to go on. There, 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 and down there. Well, I am glad I didn't burn the remains of the aft cabin, because now that I'm getting low in timber, I'm finding it's got some good pieces. I've pulled these 2 pieces off. They might be good for stringers, and there's another good bit of wood there, another good bit of wood there. Great. Talk about as ugly as it gets. I'm in the rear of the starboard armour here, and I've just pulled this stuff off here, which we missed earlier. Well, this stuff has just been pulled off, and it's still wet. Not as though any water's come in here for the last few months. It's probably been damp for years. There's been repairs here in the past. They obviously didn't get to find the actual cause, which was the leaky water catcher. And of course down in here is the ugliest of the ugly, which I'll seal up the best I can, and most of the reinforcing will be done on the outside because I can't really get at it in there. Here at the daggerboard case, down the bottom here, it used to be filled in with foam, which I don't think was a good idea. Anyway, there's some huge crevices there, twice, and down here as well. Twice I've poured in thin epoxy and it's just soaked it all up. So I'll just keep going, pour more and more epoxy in there till it's all filled up and nice and solid. Well, I've had to pull away even more, and it's a lot of damp stuff there. I'll have to wait for a while for it to dry out. Now I see that this was built pre-epoxy times, so maybe the rumours are true that this boat was possibly built back in the 1970s. I've had to take it so far back that I've got right through to the skin and beyond, to the 6-ounce glass on the outside. Carved 3 holes in here. Oh well, it'll be strong soon. Some of these local trimaran designs are really quite interesting. This one belongs to the barangay captain of Apo Island, and check out that central social area. Nice and breezy and protected in shade. I really quite like that design. This is just near where I am. That's my boat over there. But coming in this morning is the mayor of Darwin. That's Darwin, Philippines, D-A-U-I-N. And this also has a central social area. Nice looking boat actually. Always fires here in the Philippines as we burn our stuff. This is pulled up less than 10 metres from where I am right here. And check it out. Very nicely presented. Good design. Well, it's about time I did something about this window. And this is the beastie to go in. This would be a good start. There, that's a bit better. Good windows on both sides now. Still a little bit of patching to do, but nothing too major. Looking better all the time. I just put some tape on the inside and filled it with epoxy from the outside. last of the tow rails is coming off. This is slow and tiring work, dusty, and if you think my arm's getting sore, you'd be right. So why am I fiberglassing this? You may well ask. Well, it's a thing of strength. The thing is, the deck stringer, which is supposed to glue the top sides and the deck together, is in many places just turned to mush. And just the wire on this eats a hole in it. It's so soft. And that's what happens when you have a boat half filled with water for 4 or 5 years. So in the last couple of weeks I have done so many patches. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, and still plenty more to go. And that's it for this month. Cheerio.